How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Sea of Souls live stream Dungeons and Dragons campaign brought to you by the Elder Brain. We are the Elder Brain. Sadly, we are short one as Jack is ill this evening, so we wish him a speedy recovery. We will fill in the role of Torque as best as we can, although none of us are quite as wise as he is, I believe. But we will do our best. Yes, either way, we are continuing on with episode 61. We surpassed the episode 60 mark. So for all of you who have been watching, thank you very much for joining us on this journey. If you haven't done so yet, do click the likes, the follows, all the things on all the places. So check out our link tree to find access to all those different things. I'll mention, we were just kind of chatting before stream that we haven't solidified our plans for the summer yet, but we're probably going to pause sort of our regular streams like we did last year, just with vacations and all that stuff. And we'll do some different game nights. We'll probably do another like Jackbox night. We'll do some lasers and feelings and other things like that. So that'll most likely be what our summer looks like. But next few weeks, we still got streamy goodness going in. And I guess we'll end with Pathfinder at the end of the month, and then that'll kind of take us into the summer. So that's how things will line up. Looking
Pressure's on, Ian. We're going to be away for a few months, so you have to leave us on a cliffhanger. Explosions. Somebody's got to almost die.
That's right. Yeah.
Well,
Wait, it's
we'll leave you,
Pathfinder.
like,
Never
bleeding
mind.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody almost dies every session.
I was gonna say. I mean, I feel
even
like
before
Slippery
combat
Phil-
starts. Like, I'd like to check this hallway. All right, and you are now dying one. Oh crap.
Doo-doo-doo.
I may run us through a game of The Witcher RPG. Maybe we'll see.
Ooh.
Sounds
Fun.
good.
Nice.
All right, let's jump into episode 61, shall we?
Let's chat.
Bronag Flecht, also known as Bronag, a 12,000-year-old dragon, give or take, has given you knowledge regarding the nature of Triskades, enlightening you to the fact that he is not a new arrival. He's perhaps arrived once more, or has been here all along. We're not certain, but he was one of 13 entities from the void who assaulted Eudora in the ancient past, First Age, before recorded history. He also gave you a potential way to seal Triskades back in the void, if not to defeat him completely, by essentially cutting off access between the void and Eudora on this side of things, which would be the void gates. However, you are not certain how to do that, but you at least have a potential plan in place. In the meantime, you've set sail for Enhold in search of Umbra's quarry, the ex-priest who turned to Grimorgan, another evil god. And this act by the priest has earned a death sentence from the god of undeath, who has decided to bring you on as mercenaries, more or less, to do the deed. And so you set sail from Torque's old lighthouse and journey west. So, as we begin to set sail, let's get a navigation check, or I guess a ship handling, whatever that skill is, check from our Capitan. Water vehicles, that's the thing.
Alrighty. Let's see. Water vehicles is a +8 now. Let's see. First roll of the night. That one. So I got a 12 +8 for 20. Dirty 20.
Okay. Charting the maps and such a little bit, navigating your course, trying to read the weather as best as you can. You figure it's probably going to be about an 8-day journey from where you currently are, kind of the tip of the islands in Desfuna's Rim there, sailing out around them into the open sea, sort of the northern end of the Sea of Souls, and then making your way up towards Enhold, which is the most direct route. And provided that you have good weather, probably about 8 days or so. Are we to assume the usual positions? Flick in the Flick's nest. All right.
Would say, yeah.
So during these 8 days at sea, is there anything in particular that anyone would like to see to?
Well,
Devin, you are
muted.
muted. We cannot hear you. Oh, is he not talking to us?
Well, it's good that we can't hear him.
Okay.
Maybe.
I mean, we finished off last week by telling Taylind that he was more than fractured.
Yes.
That Bronag said that he is splintered as
well,
he
you
is.
guys use that.
Well, we use
splintered.
that word. Different. There's a hierarchy of fracturedness.
Now remember, when Craig releases his campaign setting and it has the word splintered in it, there better be a little asterisk with all of our names.
Let's be honest. Any new terms that come up are coined by Flick, so
Yeah.
credit goes to Flick.
Side note, just I know we're side streaming here or side rolling a little bit here, but I went back and watched our first video, and Big D was coined instantly, like immediately. That was like right away. Flick called Donaar Big D, so that was like an instant thing that stuck. So I just thought that was kind of funny to make note of.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And through the night, behind the wheel, the mileage clicking west.
Do you guys want to do anything with that information, Taylind?
I mean, I think Taylor's not really sure what to do with it. Doesn't really change anything practically. It's just more of a. It's kind of like finding out your ADHD. It's like, well, it doesn't change anything.
Just information.
But it's nice to know.
I've now
It's
got
true.
a label to put on this thing that I
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
It's true.
I think I would just treat. I think he's treating it the same way. It's like, this is good to know. It doesn't really affect anything immediately, but it may in the future. So
Okay.
getting on with my life.
All right. Good to know.
Donaar?
Donaar?
I imagine that, given we have a few days to travel, that Donaar is offering up his ability to send messages to people, to the crew.
Okay.
Like everybody on the crew. I'll
I'm part of the crew.
say that Donaar is, yeah, you're part of the crew. I'll say that Donaar is limiting himself to 2 uses per day in case some big beastie comes out of the water that we might have to fight.
Why would you say that?
Because
Why?
if I say, well, it's a 3rd level spell and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times that I could cast sending, I'll cast 9 sending a day. Oh, by the way, here's a big beastie that we have to fight, and I have nothing more powerful than a 2nd level spell.
It's because Mike's known me for a long time, so
I'm just basing this off of our last trip, because technically we're not quite redoing the trip from Enhold to the Ivory Spire, but
We are going
through similar
through
waters.
Yeah, but supposedly we should be left alone.
True.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
True.
I'm not denying your wisdom in doing that. I'm just, why would you out loud specify beastie? That's just asking for trouble.
I would like to redact my statement. Craig, you heard nothing. Disregard. Somebody smack a gavel.
disregard what?
Objection.
I'd smack gavel, but I don't know him, so.
So yeah, if there's somebody in the crew or somebody in our party that would like to use sending, and Donaar will give a very clear understanding to everybody that I have to know the target, then they could make use of that. And then I think I'm trying to remember, Craig, you can maybe help me remember. I've got so many notes. I need to stop taking so many notes.
No,
After
no, no,
Donaar
no.
learned that Snassus survived the trip as well, Donaar never cast sending to Snassus, right?
Correct. You
Okay.
have not reached out to her.
I don't think he's going to do that on day 1, but maybe day 3 or 4. Donaar might try to reach out to Snassus. So I don't know how much time jumping we're doing here, if any.
Well, it's an 8-day journey, so
Yeah, but I wasn't sure if we were going to like do it day by day and
Well,
up a
we're
roll.
probably.
Well, we'll
probably-
see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Now that I've
Yeah.
told Craig that I'm ready for big baddies, he's going to throw a big baddie at us. So.
We're due for a Kraken or two.
It's been 20 episodes since we fought one, so you know.
You haven't fought any Krakens yet.
Well, we fought that tentacle thing twice.
Yeah, it's not a Kraken.
Trust me,
It's
that was not a Kraken.
No, it's true. It's true.
No, that's the Charybdis or Charybdis.
Yep.
No Krakens, just a Leviathan.
So I suppose I'll ask Flick and Taylind, who are present, is there anybody that you want to send a message to? That Donaar could send a message to?
I mean, kind of want to, send a message to Kamari and just make sure everything's cool with her, but I don't know what to say. She seemed a little ticked off when we left, and not really sure what ticked her off. So don't know how to apologize if I don't know what I did wrong, right?
That's fair.
And Goblin and Volard etiquette are quite different.
You could maybe soothe the waters by mentioning that we found a dragon alive. She is a scholarly mage.
Did we say that?
Are people tapping the line? Like, I don't know. Is this
Well,
how secure communication is this?
on the one hand, there's going to be a lot of people who probably don't believe us. A lot of people don't believe me when I tell my stories. I don't know why.
the UBI, Ecuadorian Bureau of Investigation.
On the other hand, if they do believe us and they know there's a dragon, that's kind of a big deal, I think. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that something that's information that should be sold, not freely given? Like that is like we need to be very careful as to who knows this information, and only if they're willing to pay us with a small island.
You have a small island.
A small
do.
island filled with rum. A rum runner's island
Your island is only filled with wine.
with a lighthouse and a dragon underneath it. Like, here's the thing. That's an abandoned island, right? No one goes there. No one's been there except Torque. And Torque barely counts as being anywhere because of how much he speaks and makes himself known. So, I mean, if anyone finds out there's a dragon there, you really think they're going to be like, oh, I'll go leave him alone.
We don't have to tell her where it
Fair
is.
point.
Yeah, but is that something that, like, if we say, oh, we know where there's a dragon, she's like, oh, where? It's like, well, we're not going to tell you. It's like, well, then why would you tell me there's a dragon? You know what I mean? Like,
That's a good
Yeah,
point.
there will be follow-up questions.
That's fair.
you know, I don't know what your childhood was like, Donaar, but when I was a kid, if you learned anything that was valuable information, you held on to that like it was the very air in your lungs, because that was the only thing you had. Everybody else had money. You had information, and information in some circles is worth more than money. And that's not something you freely give.
I think I've demonstrated through my actions that you and I have had very different childhoods, Taylind.
I'm inclined to agree, especially when it comes to the perspective on information.
Yep. Yep. All right, fine. We won't tell Kamari that we found a dragon. But Flick, if you think of anything you'd like to say to try to calm the waters,
I mean,
let me know.
if I could just reinforce my position, what happens if Kamari eventually does get, mind controlled or something by agents of Triskades or something, and then they learn that information? You know what I mean? Like, there's too many variables, and unless we believe that someone can help us in some way with that information, I feel like that we should keep that close to our chest, much like my flask.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'll have to. Like I said, I'm not exactly sure what ticked her off in the first place. So Maybe let's let sleeping dogs lie. Sleeping birds, whatever.
Taylind,
Kids.
anybody you want to reach out to? No.
I don't think so. I mean, I could check in on the people at my island, but I feel like they were doing a bang up job before I got there. They're probably going to do a bang up job after I've left.
I would
Suppose
imagine
we could check in. Suppose we could check in with my aunt. As weird as that is to say.
We could check in with Wilhelmina, yeah.
Don't tell her there's a dragon either.
Okay, I won't tell anybody.
As a matter of fact, yeah, just, you know what? Maybe just we should all just stop talking about the dragon. If anyone asks what we're talking about and they're like, "Oh, I heard dragon," I'll be like, nah, that's just what I call my newest drink. That's why we're talking about how acidic and vicious and caustic it is. And what did we do on that island? Flick told us a very nice story. And
I did do that.
And then we left. And then we're not even lying.
True.
I mean, how much were we getting paid for all those dragon scales? Like, you know what I mean? So there's people out there who would hear that there's a dragon and be like, "Oh, damn, money."
Mm.
And as strong as Uncle B looked, wizards are a thing.
Yes, we are.
Let me
Slight
rephrase.
fist bump to Donaar.
Archmages are a thing.
Yes, they are.
Archmagi are quite the thing to deal with.
All right. So let's get underway, set sail, and then if anything else kind of comes up as we go, we can address that as well. So, mon capitaine, would you do the honors of rolling a D100?
D100. That one and that one. 48.
48.
48.
No, I said no. Roll a D100, not 4d8. All right. As you set sail, rounding the sort of tip of the archipelago, I can mispronounce it because Jack's not here. He won't side eye me. You catch a favorable tailwind.
Hey.
Actually kind of blowing out, seems to be kind of curling out from the inner isles and pushing you out into the Sea of Souls. And so your first day of the journey, you average speed, you're going to cover about 24 miles in a day, so kind of 1 hex. So you kind of get kind of between hexes there. So you cut off about half a day of the journey.
But what is that in knots?
I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Many.
Nautical miles, yeah.
I could tell you that I know, but I'm afraid not.
Ahoy!
Nothing really of consequence happens during this first day. It's quite calm. The Sea of Souls does still have, as you kind of come out of this bay and into the sea proper, it still has a bit of a murky look to it. It's not the kind of water you want to go swimming in, but that looming sense of dread, while not gone entirely, does seem to be less ever present. It's a cloudy ish day, but rays of sun kind of break through here and there. And overall, it's a rather pleasant sail, and it actually seems to up the spirits of the crew as well. As you know, an uneventful day at sea is a good day. At sea, that's what the crew looks for. Just they do their job, they know what's expected of them. Nothing unexpected happens. Everything's right. The ship's working right. And the first evening falls. As you set in for the evening, Taylind,
Aye, sir.
it doesn't take long after falling asleep, after however many drinks you have imbibed, for a particular sight to return in the form of a dream.
I hate these things.
Once again, you find yourself standing in the middle of the structure of a void gate. Those roiling, multicolored clouds surrounding, seeming both right in front of you and at the same time impossibly distant. It's impossible to tell how far, how close they are. There's a weird sense of the unreal, but the structure, the stone beneath your feet feels solid, feels real. You're just kind of standing there. There's not much sound, kind of a distant sound of wind. You seem aware in this dream, lucid. You know it's a dream, but you're aware of yourself. What do you do?
Can I move around this area?
Mm-hmm.
It's just the clouds in the void gate. Does the void gate look like any of the ones I've been to before?
Structurally, yes. There are a couple things missing. There's no pedestal in the center. There's the very, very center rings don't seem to have any runes or writing on them. So the outer edges of this, sort of inner circle of structure do have runes that, as you kind of stare and try to focus, they do seem to start to glow a little bit. You can't see beyond the spherical structure. So where there would be normally sort of the four gates, archways, you're unable to really see the clouds are just kind of rolling around you. Sound is weird. Your footsteps kind of echo. Even though there's,
if I call out, is it like a muffled cry in the middle of a deep fog?
yeah, it's your voice kind of carries for a moment, but then just seems to kind of die off. Sorry, I keep hitting my mic there. It just kind of dies.
Can I see the sky at all?
The sky is nothing but roiling, multi-hued clouds of chaos.
So I can't see past the clouds.
Correct. That just seems to be ever present all around you.
And the
In fact, why don't I show you?
Oh.
Ooh. Very red and yellow. Well, I can't say much for the decorum. Do I know this is a dream, or am I believing this is real?
You know this is a dream. You are aware that you are in a dream.
Okay. Either this is one of them visions, or I'm crazy, or both. But if this is a dream, I wonder. I'm going to try and dream up a mug of ale into my hand.
Okay.
See if I can have any kind of sway here.
Sure. Give me just straight intelligence check.
Oh, goody. I'm great at that. I'm so smart. You know, I got lots of multi-class. I definitely put points in intelligence.
Hey.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Wow.
I managed to pull that off.
That is some lucid dream.
Conjure a mug of ale in your hand.
How do you like that? We'll see how it is. That's pretty good.
Something catches your eye. A glittering glint of metal, something shiny off to the side here, off to the edge. Something just sitting on the stone. It just kind of seems to catch a little bit of light as you kind of shift your vision, look at it. It flickers a little bit.
Continuing to down my now. Oh, look at that infinite ale. I shall gingerly approach and kind of see if I can pick out what it might be from a distance before I get too close. I'm not sure how much I trust this just yet. Even if I can have some power.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check as you approach.
Oh, that I can do. 23.
23. It appears to be a gold coin. A little bit larger than your average piece.
Is there any... As I get closer, can I see any kind of like special minting on it?
There is definitely marking on it. You'd have to get
I'd have to get right on
right up close to it to tell. Yeah.
One would think if I was going to dream about money, it would be a giant pile of Scrooge McDuck vault. Not a single coin. I'm not that poor. I'm going to kneel down then.
Okay.
Not touch it, but I'm going to kneel down and take a closer examination of this strange coin that has perchanced itself upon my vision.
Okay. The coin bears an image of you.
Well, how do you like that?
However, it doesn't look like you currently. It looks like a younger version of you.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Around what age are we thinking?
Probably not like a kid, but definitely just given the what you can tell of the dress and everything, it looks like probably a couple of years earlier, a couple of years before now, before you met the crew of Radiant or the Intrepid Devil and Set Sail.
Okay. Would this still be Priory days?
Probably just sort of the end of prior days. So like right at the beginning of your journey to sea.
Okay. I'm sure that some sort of psychologist could tell me what exactly this means. Or Flick. Well, What's my brain gonna do to me, other than get revenge? I suppose. Flip the coin over.
On the other side is a picture of you now. Pretty much a mirror image of how you look exactly in this moment.
Well,
Your
it would appear,
your current gear, your current attire, hairstyle, all of that.
it would appear that I am two sides of the same coin.
The moment that you pick up the coin and turn it over and look at it, you feel a hand grab you on the shoulder from behind.
Nope, don't like that.
And as you're spun around, you come face to face with yourself.
Nega
A mirror copy of you, which says, "You shouldn't be here. Not yet." And shoves you off the edge. And as you fall in to the swirling clouds of chaos, you jolt awake in your cot aboard the Radiant Dawn.
Am I holding a coin?
You are.
I'm guessing it is the coin.
It is indeed a coin with two pictures of you, one younger and one as you appear now.
It's one of those self-fulfilling prophecy moments. Taylor's just waiting for the day he gets to push himself off a cliff.
Normally, when I drink heavily, I don't dream. Seems fate has decided to take even that away from me. Well, there's only one person who's going to be able to figure this one out, unfortunately. I will make my way to the captain's quarters.
Okay.
I know that's not because you think that I can solve that for you, but I appreciate the moment, the glimmer of hope that Donaar might feel.
I mean, who else am I going to go talk to? Torque? He's just going to wax philosophical on what it means. I need someone who's going to be like, "Oh, that sounds weird. Let me magic you a solution."
I feel like Flick's going to be the one that actually solves this. I guess it's a new day, so I got to prepare spells.
I can't rely on Flick for every single problem.
What am I expecting to happen today?
Do you happen to have the dream spell?
Nope.
Well, that's unfortunate. That would be really useful.
Isn't that on the druid list?
I couldn't tell you. I know of spells. I don't know who gets them. He's a wizard. I just assume he can get any spell he wants.
Dreams, bard, warlock, wizard.
Yeah. It's a very niche spell. I'm not surprised he doesn't have it.
Man, I need...
You would never heard of it.
Yeah. Probably never heard of it.
That.
It's like super underground.
And then that.
Oh, man. Oh, God. Now I want to play a character who's a wizard, but the only spells he has are like the spells no one knows. It's like, yeah, man, I got find traps. It's a bit of a hidden gem. You probably don't ever use it, but, you know. Firebolt? Nah. Who uses Firebolt? That's so mainstream.
What a sellout. Yeah.
As I say, I use Frostbite.
Are you showing this coin to?
Yeah, I'm gonna go knock on Donaar's door.
All right, I've prepared my spells for the day.
Okay.
So
Trying not to be too meta.
Good.
Donaar will answer
Hear a
the door.
knock at the cabin door.
What time of day is it?
This would be. We'll say it's.
Did I wake up like on time? Yeah. Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah. It's morning. Yeah.
Hey, buddy, old pal, old chum.
What do you need?
Just looking for a little bit of a morning coffee with my good bud.
Seriously, what do you need? You never just come to hang out with me. I mean, I would love to say that this is sincere, but
Are you going to invite me in at least? Leave me out in the cold?
I suppose. Donaar will open up the door further and walk back into the captain's quarters.
So do you like your coffee with whiskey or with do you like your coffee with whiskey?
I typically don't drink coffee, so
Oh, then you could just have the straight whiskey.
I didn't mean to zoom that in. I apologize.
You grew up with dwarves, surely.
well, yes.
Surely this is not that.
Donaar is not. It's the notion of morning drinking is not foreign to Donaar, but he doesn't typically partake. What's up, Taylind? You came here with a purpose, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
What's up?
You remember you were talking about that splintered thing yesterday?
Yeah.
And then I asked you about rainbow clouds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to figure that out. Check this thing out, man. And I shall show the coin.
Some interesting arts and crafts you're doing down there.
Yeah, I don't know where this came from. I think I may have conjured it through my dream because I'm just that powerful now. You know, it figures. I conjure the most delicious ale that I've ever had in my dreams, and it's the coin that comes back with me, and not the ale.
Yeah, that's usually the way the dreams work.
Right, except I actually have this.
So
Is that your watchtower coin?
Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
pull out your coin and make Mike feel bad.
Oh.
Mine's upstairs.
I don't. Devin's got two? Oh.
Yeah.
Give me a Settlers of Catan piece here. I can have an octagon as well.
A hexagon, but
Hexagon, whatever.
fired.
All right, so Taylind, let me see if I'm understanding this correctly. You had a dream last night, and in that dream, you picked up that coin, and when you woke up, that coin was.
I think it's also
Fair.
important to mention I don't dream. That's why I drink so much before bed.
Okay, so you had a dream, which in and of itself is miraculous.
That's in and of itself miraculous, yes. I'm becoming very powerful.
Or
You mean and?
Yes,
And.
something very powerful is affecting you.
Thus making me powerful.
That's not often how that works, but let's agree to disagree for now. So
We have been our entire relationship.
So you brought back this coin from your dream.
Yes, from the Rainbow Cloud place.
Anything else that you can tell me about this place?
There was another me who pushed me.
Interesting.
He said I wasn't supposed to be there yet.
Interesting.
I thought so. I was wondering if you could magic up a solution, because ordinarily I'd talk to a psychiatrist, but me and them don't really get along. They keep telling me I need to, work on my flaws, and I'm not about that. Flaws are what make you who you are. Can you imagine Flick without flaws? He'd be boring. And what would we do if we couldn't say that our captain was an efficient and very capable sorcerer? This is no fun there.
I'm not a sorcerer. I'm a wizard. There's a very important difference between the two.
Whatever.
I'll mind you to keep that in check.
Okay. You both throw spells around and act like you own the place. Although you actually do.
Yes, but one of us does own the place. So
I was wondering if maybe you could use some of that identification magic that you tend to carry around.
I definitely
Maybe
can.
figure out what this thing is, where it came from, how it came to be, and why I have it. Don't get me wrong. Look, I'm thinking I might create some special island currency. But, just be on the safe side.
Yeah. There are certainly a couple of rituals that I can take a look at. Getting more information, we could identify, we could detect magic, get a sense if this thing is magical and what school
Yeah,
of
I'm
magic
kind
it
of
comes
looking
from.
kind of looking for the whole shebang. I think the whole 9 yards would be great.
All right. Well, this will
I've
take a
heard a
little while.
lot of stories about coins doing very interesting things.
Why don't you do me a favor? Why don't you go and get Flick? And he and I will work on this together. Might increase our
Okay.
odds of getting an answer for you.
Oh, okay. Is he your assistant now?
No. But he can do things that I can do as well, so we could maybe do it efficiently. Maybe he has different insights than
Sure.
I have on these things.
What, are you guys like best friends now?
Flick? I don't remember us being not best friends.
Oh, okay. Well, you never really seemed like you were super getting along with them all the time, You didn't seem super chummy is all. You just, it seemed like more of a teacher-student kind of thing. I'm just saying, there's only room in Flick's life for one best friend, and he never really struck me.
I understand, Taylind. You know what? You're absolutely right. Flick and I, we've had some rocky patches, but you know what? We'll make it work for you. We'll make it work for you.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
Perfect. That I appreciate it.
Yeah. So why don't you go and get Flick? I'll get things set up in here, and we'll get started.
Start lighting your candles,
Yeah.
or whatever it is you sorcel people, sorcel,
Wizards.
whatever you wizard. I don't think that's a word. You guys need better branding.
Hey, wizard this for me, will you?
Hey, yo, Flick!
Yeah, what?
Donaar
hey,
needs
I'm
you-
up.
Yeah, Donaar needs your assistance with a spell.
Why am I always helping that guy? Isn't he the professional? Jeez. All
I know,
let's
right?
do
That's what I told him.
All right.
Donar's muttering under his breath.
Skilled amateur coming through. Here we go. Prodigy.
So there's this coin. I'll let Taylind fill you in on how exactly he came about acquiring this coin. We need
I dreamed it up.
Yeah, we need to investigate this coin and see what we can determine its origins are, its purposes, stuff like that. I figured.
Pretty sure dreaming things into reality is the beginning of like godhood. So, we got to make sure that I'm on the right track.
Flick has already grabbed the coin and is biting it to make sure it's real.
And this is why I went to Donaar first.
It's very solid.
Mhm.
Definitely gold.
Seems like a coin to me. Why didn't you dream up some booze? That's more your style.
I tried. Can you imagine if I was like, oh, you're that guy with the famous beer? I'm like, yes. He's like, where's your distillery? It's like, it's all in here. I mean, the marketing things alone, we would never run out of money.
Disappointing me, kid. It's chuck you on the cheek a little bit. All right, B, let's see what we can do. I figure we could. Is there any writing on it?
There is only 2 pictures of Taylind. One, a younger Taylind, probably from a couple of years ago. One as he appears identically as he appears right now.
Interesting. All right, I had just a momentary thought here. So first off, before we get into the real mumbo jumbo, get out the crayons and the paper. I'm gonna take rubbings of both sides.
Oh, that's smart.
This looks
Oh
changing.
my God, that's really smart.
This is why you hired the professional.
Freaking tastic.
So here's what I'm thinking, Flick.
Yeah.
We both have the ability to identify. We both have the ability
Yep.
to detect magic. And
Yep.
assuming you have it prepared, we both have the ability to cast augury. We might as well
Yep.
throw what we can at this thing. We have time to kill. And Taylind is claiming godhood because he conjured this out of a dream, so we really need to bring him back down to reality. So we need some answers, and we need answers fast.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the knuckle bones ain't going to give us answers. They'll just tell us if we're in, if we're headed in the right direction, right? But yeah, everything else.
But if we were to pose the question to the knuckle bones, I'm going to throw this into the water. We're going to chuck it away.
Is getting rid of this a good idea?
Yeah. I'm just thinking simply, that might give us insight.
Sure. All right. Yeah, I think start with the basics. We'll do some detect magic, see if this thing's just a mundane coin where it's got some mojo to it, and then we'll go from there.
Why don't you do detect magic? I'll identify, and then we'll go from there.
You got it, Skipper. All right, detecting magic. Here we go. Whammy.
It is definitely magic.
Hey, look at that.
And there's not an exact school of magic that it would fall into. The closest that you pick up is kind of a combination of the necromancy, not necessarily evil, but just having to do with like life and death, that sort of thing. A little bit of illusion mixed in there as well. Conjuration. There's kind of like different elements of a few different schools. It's hard to really pinpoint one, but it is definitely magic. It's got a powerful magical aura to it. Yeah.
All right, so it's a bit of a Neapolitan ice cream going on here of magics, but
which one's the chocolate?
That's the necromancy, obviously the most delicious of the magics.
Necromancy is the chocolate of Neapolitan.
Do we learn?
So good news. There's no evocation. It's not going to explode on you. There's no divination. It's not like.
Well, that's good. That's also good.
No abjuration is not going to like protect you from stuff, but
that's good.
Win some, you lose some. But the necromancy might suck your life out. So
Yeah,
that's maybe we should look into that part.
Necromancy could also extend his life.
I'm just laying it all out there. There's no transmutations. It's not going to turn you into a coin next.
That does make sense for the first step towards godhood, I will say.
I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry.
And I figure the illusion element is the tapping into the dreams part. That's the figments and planting stuff in your brains. Or that might be enchantment too. I don't know. But anywho.
That seems more like enchantment to me.
There's a whole mishmash in here, and it's a lot jammed into one little coin.
I mean, I don't know if like dream stuff is considered like illusory material or something like that, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, the conjuration as well. You seemingly conjured this out of thin air.
Well, maybe. I mean, it was already there when I arrived in my dream, so...
I'm not saying you intentionally conjured it.
I mean, assuming that even was a dream.
That's a good point. You did say you don't dream.
Not generally. Not if I can help it.
Do I learn any other properties about the item? Is it something that can be used? Does it require attunement?
So, it cannot be attuned. You do sense that there is a connection between the coin and Taylind, and only Taylind. This is a coin that's very specifically attached to him. And when I say attached to him, it is connected to him on a not just a magical level, but like a metaphysical. It seems to be part of him, almost like you sense part of him in the coin. Like the presence of Taylind actually in the coin. almost as if it's holding a part of him within it.
Penny for your thoughts, Donaar?
For notation purposes, you may call this Taylind's soul coin.
Oh, God damn it.
I was going for phylactery, but that works too.
Is this like a Dorian Gray situation where I'm technically immortal as long as this coin is is kept somewhere safe?
You wouldn't know that.
Or
For all
like
you know.
just because we recently finished the Harry Potter movies, is like a Horcrux.
Yeah,
Interesting.
those are effectively phylacteries.
Oh, okay.
There does seem to be a temporal property to this coin.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
You can't, based on this identifying ritual, you can't quite pinpoint exactly what it does, but it does seem to have some time sensitive or time manipulative properties to it, but you're not certain what. It would need experimentation. It would need further research to figure that part out. And seeing as Taylind is the only one who can use it or enact it, that's up to Taylind.
Craig, technical question.
Sure.
Does the world of Eudora have a school of magic dedicated to time? Is there like a dunamancy or a chronomancy that Donaar would be aware of?
Not in particular, no.
Okay.
There isn't really a single school that would kind of fit into that, or that would fit time. I mean, transmutation probably would be the closest.
Okay.
Which is the school of manipulation, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
So if time can be manipulated at all, it would probably fit into
the temporal school. Or sorry, the transmutation school. Yeah.
Time stop.
Temporal transmutation. Oh, that's transmutation, isn't it?
Time stop is transmutation.
And what's slow?
I believe. So yeah, it would fall under transmutation at the very
slow is transmutation as well.
Yeah,
because it's the manipulation of reality, essentially, is what transmutation is. So
well, Taylind,
yes, good news.
This coin is connected to you.
I mean, I kind of assumed that,
but more connected to what makes you, your essence, your
blood alcohol content.
No. I'm not certain that if we were to destroy the coin somehow, you wouldn't also die. I'm talking about that kind of connection, that there is something about this coin that is you, and that you are this coin.
Well, that doesn't seem good at all.
No, I would say
that's not good news.
No,
that's not good news at all.
You didn't come to me for good news. You came to me for news.
I did come to you for good news, and all you've done is told me that if this coin is destroyed, I die.
You might. I mean, you might. I don't know.
You got a percentage on that might?
Nope.
Then I may as well consider it to be true.
I mean,
what do you want me to? Oh, wait. Let's test it. Hold on. I'll revive you if you die.
No, let's not tempt fate. This version of you that you said pushed you.
Yeah.
Was it older than you? Was he older than you?
I don't think
Younger
I
than
could tell,
you?
could I?
Looked identical as far as you could tell.
It was me. Very handsome fellow.
Hmm.
It was
I
like
mean-
looking into a mirror.
You could take comfort in the fact that at the very least you haven't gotten to the point where you push you out of a void gate.
Does that mean that I'm effectively immortal until I meet myself to push myself?
I think Donaar's going
I
to
see
take a look
no-
at Flick.
There's nothing here to say otherwise.
Wibbly wobbly.
I guess.
Let's
you're
go
onto
with
something,
yeah.
Skipper.
I'm immortal. That's good news.
Oh, I should have stopped talking a long time ago.
Indestructible.
I am indestructible.
Oh, Mr. Burns.
Indestructible. Well, that's better news. Cool.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
looking on all downsides. Yeah, if the coin is destroyed, then you die. But the other way to look at it is until the coin is destroyed, you don't die.
But why do I have it?
That is a great
Well,
question.
Someone
You
put it
happen
there
to
for you to
have
find.
legend lore, do you?
No.
Okay.
Of my pay grade.
Hmm.
It's in my pay grade. It's just not something that I chose.
It's again a bit of a niche spell, yeah. Bit underground. You probably never heard of it.
I mean, for now, I would just keep this on your person.
In my wallet? What if I accidentally spend it?
Keep it on a pocket. Keep it. I don't know.
Given that it is larger than a typical gold coin, I think it's easy for you to.
Is it like a legit soul coin size?
It's not quite. It's not quite a 3-pounder.
Okay.
Is that how heavy they were again? I don't know.
They're like 3 inches. I don't know.
Oh, they're 1/3 of a pound. Sorry, it's
I
like
have
it's
a soul coin. I can get it.
it is heavier than a regular gold coin because it's a little bit bigger. So
Yeah.
you'd be able to tell like the difference in size and weight. Yeah.
Taylind, the one piece of good news is that I do have something that I could try. If you are
Does
concerned.
it involve destroying the coin?
No.
Okay, good. I'm listening.
2 options. One I can do
You
today.
said you had what? Okay, yes.
I could attempt, because Flick detected a lot of magic on that, a lot of
Yeah.
different schools. I could attempt to dispel it
Yeah, that sounds like a bad idea.
using as much of my power and ability that I have. I could also attempt tomorrow to remove curse and see if that perhaps severs the connection.
How? I guess it's worth a try. I feel like that's not going to do nothing.
I don't know if it would or not. And I don't think Donaar would be familiar with a soul coin.
I'm
so.
just speaking on behalf of DMs everywhere. Remove curse should never work.
No. Well, and that's I don't.
True. It's such a like get out of jail free thing.
Oh, it's
like,
the worst.
here's this dreaded ancient curse. Remove curse. Oh crap.
It's a 3rd level spell too.
I know.
I cast it at 6th.
I typically run remove
Yeah.
curses depending
This
on
is
the curse
this
a little
is
bit.
this is a
different.
Ravenloft curse. Ravenloft lycanthropy. You must be reduced to 0 HP by a silvered weapon under a full moon, and then have remove curse cast on you. Then make a Constitution save, and if you succeed, then you're not cursed.
There's more of a ritual and process than
Yeah.
removing a curse, as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned. But anyway,
Yeah. I mean, we should probably keep looking at it. I'm a little concerned that if I'm walking around somewhere and I get pickpocketed, that's bad. Not that I would generally be pickpocketed. Like, I feel like I could more or less notice that, but I do stumble around occasionally.
You do.
Yeah, I have been known to do a stagger or two.
The other option is you could leave it with me.
Literally trusting you with my life.
Potentially. Maybe. I might be wrong.
Well, I think if I leave it with you, at least you could continue to do some research on it. I kind of want to know what this thing is now. A lot more than I did before. Can you imagine? Just be like, whatever. Just hold on to this.
Bottom of the ocean it goes.
Make it, yeah, just off you go. Well, I mean,
Be the safest place for it.
On the subject of Horcruxes, I mean, you throw it at the bottom of the ocean in the middle of the Atlantic. Yeah, good luck.
It's true. That's a good point.
Mariana Trench.
Yeah.
Do we know?
It gone.
Based on Flick taking a bit of a bite out of my soul, was he able to determine, like, is this just has the hardness of gold? Like, it's just.
Mm-hmm. It felt like
wonderful.
a gold coin to Flick. It felt like just
a big
Flick
gold
knows
coin.
the taste
Are
of
there
gold.
any? Okay, let's move to phase 2. Are there any rituals you can do on me that might help answer some of these questions and fill in the blanks?
I think so.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't identify work on people?
Yeah, your Taylind. We've done that one already.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, actually, if you instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it.
Yeah.
I guess we could determine if you were cursed.
That's what I
perhaps.
mean. Like, can you determine curses and stuff? Like, I don't know. I
That's
feel like
what-
it might be worth a shot while we're at it, because if we can determine that, oh yeah, we've detected that you have some kind of missing soul, I'd be like,
There's a
Good.
coin-sized hole in your
yeah,
soul.
it's a coin-sized hole in your soul. This is interesting.
Let's call Torque in for this one, just in case
Why?
something starts coming out of you.
What would be coming out of me?
I don't
All sorts of
know.
stuff can fit through a hole that big, man.
Yeah, just in case we need backup.
Why are we all of a sudden very trepidatious?
Because you're full of snakes.
Yeah, we're afraid you're gonna burst.
What's happening right now? Just gonna look.
I
at
mean,
my,
metaphorical snakes.
I'm gonna look
for
at
now.
my coffee and whiskey.
Not Torque, sorry. Donaar is kind of enjoying a little bit the fear that Taylind is experiencing. He's not drunk or disorderly or anything.
Let's all enjoy the abject mortal peril.
Well, you've spent so much time lately being built up. You are a Vale. You are the owner of an island
That's true.
that has
I was
has-
due for a little,
this is-
humbling.
a little humbling, especially with all the humbling that he does to Donaar.
Yeah, gotta
But-
keep you from becoming some kind of awesome archmage.
Yeah. Flick, should we roll dice to see who gets to identify Taylind, or
Why don't you flip a coin?
hey, we can flip his coin. Young or old? Young or old?
Call it in the air.
Hey, young or current?
Yeah, like I said, young or old.
Actually, I'm probably older than Flick, aren't I?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Goblins cap out at like 50, right? So he's probably in his 20s.
Well, Taylin's not too much older. Anyway,
Donaar's got a few years on you. All right.
Donaar will be alive when I'm gone and buried, though. So
I will have the last laugh. I guess unless Flick wants to, Donaar will.
I will yield to the elder statesman here.
All right, I will cast
You
Identify
called him old.
ritually on Taylind.
Okay.
And while
Waves
he's doing
Taylind,
that,
wave
I will,
singer.
I will ritual cast augury. Get
Oh yeah, let's.
Lefty and Shorty's.
If we
Phones out
destroy
and-
this coin, wheel or woe.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the question I'm asking is this coin a good thing to have around?
Okay. Donaar,
Mhm.
give me a spellcasting ability check.
That's wonderful.
So plus my spell.
As if
attack
you were
bonus?
yeah.
Okay, so plus 8. I rolled a
Right.
9, so plus 8 is 17.
Okay.
Not horrible.
Okay. So this takes you. It's a 10-minute ritual, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And Flick, you have augury as a ritual as well.
Yep.
Okay. So which do we want to resolve first?
Why don't we do the augury first? Because his would actually be instant, right? Or it's 1 minute for yours. Augury's 1 minute.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna spend my once per day fast cast of a ritual, so I'll get it done in a minute instead of 10.
Okay. All right. So let's do augury first then. Yeah. So what is the question you were asking? What are you seeking from this augury?
Let's see. A specific course of action we plan to take within the next 30 minutes.
If in the next 30 minutes I destroy this coin, wheel or woe.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If we destroy this coin, is that a good idea or a bad idea? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Good idea.
Oh,
Bad idea.
Yeah.
Unless the divine being thinks that Taylind is a threat and says it's a good idea.
I mean,
oh damn, yeah, that'd be interesting, eh?
So
The
Fleck,
universe itself has it out for me.
given your particular tastes in food, whereas some people might associate the smell of strawberries and fresh cream and ripe fresh fruit as a good thing, for you, you know that is the opposite.
it's cloying and saccharine and bad news.
The answer is whoa.
All right.
Very clearly, whoa.
Don't break the coin. Got it. We figured as much, but it's good to get that confirmation.
The taste of fresh strawberries is kind of.
Yeah. No, I'm going to have to maybe chew on that coin a little more to get this flavor out of my mouth. But
No.
Donaar, you detect that there is a spell within the school of necromancy that is currently affecting Taylind. And it is a powerful spell. Just outside your ability to identify. Given your check, you got a 17, correct?
Yeah.
So you assume this has got to be either an 8th or 9th level
Okay.
spell. This is something potent. During this current ritual, you're unable to identify it precisely. But because you are able to determine its school and roughly estimate its level, it'll give you a bit of an advantage were you to try it again. Not today, you have to wait 24 hours. If you were to try this ritual again, you might get a better results.
Does knowing the school of magic that it is, understanding that I can't cast 8th or 9th levels yet, would that enhance a dispel magic casting on Taylind at 6th level?
I'd say given what you know of the power of the spell, you doubt you'd be able to dispel it at this moment.
Okay. All right.
Pretty potent magic.
Well, the coin is necromancy, illusion, conjuration, and a mixture of there between. Taylind, what is affecting you is straight necromancy.
Oh, good.
I will need more time. I'll have to try this again later or tomorrow. See if I can narrow it down any further. it is more powerful than anything that I can cast. So, I don't know what you've gotten yourself into, but it is very dangerous, very potent magic.
Great. Just what I want to hear.
I figured you'd like that, yep.
Yeah.
Hmm?
That's just my luck, I guess. Well, I do appreciate you guys looking into this for me.
We live to serve and such.
It's weird coming from you, but sure.
Speaking of serving, let's go get some grub.
Well,
And I mean like grubs, right? Like I gotta get this
You're
taste.
gonna go find some actual grubs, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll be busy for the next little while. I'm gonna go ponder this over a nice cold drink.
Alrighty. Let's cover the next couple days or so. Donaar, or anybody, if you'd like to roll a D100.
I rolled the first one. Taylin's had something exciting happen. Flick, why don't you see? Give us a D100.
Kerblam, 22.
22, okay. You have an uneventful couple of days, a little bit of cloud, no benefit of the tailwind over the next few days. Just sort of standard sailing. It's right over there, so you probably get to about there. About mid-afternoon of the second day, Flick, something catches your eye during your watch from the Flick's nest far to the south. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Perception. Okay. There's a 16 for you.
Okay. The first thing that draws your attention, you didn't realize it until you kind of look and pay close attention, but it was the very distant echo of cannon fire. Repeating peals of cannon fire. And as you focus on the distance, there's a ship battle, it would seem. At least two, possibly more involved, but there's an exchange of cannon fire happening. And you can just kind of hear you hear that echoing like.
Got some action port side. You want to take a little peek?
You're essentially hearing the sonic booms echoing.
So my ears are ringing.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. So I want to turn that off.
Yeah, I would say you barely hear it, Taylind.
No, that's just the sound of Flick's voice.
Yeah.
So port side would be the Sea of Souls side?
Yeah, far to the south.
Not the island.
We're talking
south,
like as far south, like towards the.
Sorry, I took a moment to do the math and figure out which side was what. So yeah, port side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I know that the undead are not exactly going to chase us right now, but do we really want to sail through the middle of the Sea of Souls to check out a fight?
Probably
This
not.
is like days away. Like this is.
Yeah.
You think your spyglass could, or your magic eyes?
I don't know that I could see that far. Spyglass of other sight.
Pick out some colors, if nothing else. See who's fighting.
Farthest the spyglass will let me see properly is 120 feet, so I don't.
It doesn't work as a regular spyglass. It's
And
it's all bent up, and when you try to use it as a regular spyglass, it doesn't really show you anything. So
I don't know. Does my fractured ability give me longer sight like that, or it's just the ability to true sight and stuff?
Yeah. From what you can tell, it looks like there's again at least 2 ships engaged in cannon fire against each other. Could be more, but it's pretty far away. Doesn't seem to involve you, but it's curious.
Well, it's
Anyone dumb enough to be out in the Sea of Souls fighting right now? I say we leave them to it.
well, and that's the likelihood is that they're fighting. They're fighting the forces that are not engaging with us right now. Unfortunately.
Sounds like yes.
I mean, we could sail down, but by the time we get there, that ship's going to be down. If we were closer, if we sailed down, we might be able to stop it just by our presence, but I don't think there will be much left to spare by the time we get down there.
I'm pretty sure they were clear that, even if we're like in a town, they'll attack the town. They just want to attack us.
Yeah.
So I would think that would also apply to the boat. And if we engage, it's not going to go well for our whole temporary alliance thing.
Yeah.
But I don't much like this.
I mean, unfortunately, we just have to keep moving.
Do we? Or do we try to save them by having them come aboard? Because there might be survivors. And I'm kind of curious who's trying to cross the Sea of Souls with all the ick.
That's a good point.
For all we know, it's 2 ghost ships fighting each other just for the reliving an old battle.
That's another good point.
Yeah, but if we think that every ship we see is some sort of trick or whatever, then people will die because of our inaction.
But we've seen a lot of illusion while traversing the Sea of Souls. We can't just discount.
I think, at the very least, and I might be a bit drunk.
Might be, huh?
It might be. But I think we should check it out, and maybe we can save even like 2 people. And those are still 2 people we wouldn't have saved. They wouldn't have lived if we hadn't been there. We may not be able to engage, but if they go in the water and they're gonna drown, we can pick them up. And you know what? We'll always use some more crew.
Well, Donaar's pretty sure where Torque is going to land once Taylind makes that appeal. Donaar's biggest concern is that because
I will defer to the captain.
We've in general been on a path to following our orders. If we were to deviate now, would that be seen as a deviation from our orders? But at the same time,
I don't think talking to a dragon was part of our orders.
Well, but it was in the correct direction.
I suppose. I made my case.
Without actually asking the question, what is Flick looking like? He's thinking.
He's in no rush to carry out our contract, so sure, he's up for a lark. Why not?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right.
To screw over the deal, then all the better. Then we're don't have the complication to worry about anymore.
All right, Donaar will start giving orders to do whatever with the sails, we will change course and try to pick up survivors or spare ship from being downed if possible.
Okay. So you are changing course.
Adding roughly 4 days without counting in whatever it takes to stop and salvage.
Give me a water vehicles check.
All right. This is +8. It's a 13, so 21.
Okay. So you're looking at essentially you're looking at about a good 200 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Straight through the middle of the Sea of Souls.
Which is going to be about an 8-day journey.
One way? Or there and back?
There and back.
Oh, so the same.
It's, you can't tell exactly where it is. It's far to the south, but you're looking. It's not like a day trip. Like it's going to take you quite a bit of time to get there and back.
We have enough food on board for this trip?
I would assume so.
You have a month's worth of supplies. Well, you did when you set out from Kias.
Yeah, so we're okay.
All right. We'll change course.
Okay. You set sail in a roughly straight southwest or south-ish,
Yeah.
using the tides and currents and all that, like and such as. Okay. So 3 days into the journey, there was potential of contacting Snassus, doing more investigation or rituals with the coin. Anything else? Anything that we wanted to pick up on any of that?
If we're in a new day, I suppose Donaar will attempt the identify on Taylind again. See if he can narrow down that necromancy spell.
Okay. So you don't have advantage on this, but essentially the DC is less because of what you found out previously. So same thing, you'll do an identify ritual and then give me a spell casting ability check.
Alrighty. That's not great. That's a 7 + 8, so it's actually lower. It's 15.
With your lower DC, that will do it.
Hey.
15 was the exact mark to hit.
Well, all right then.
It's a spell that you've heard of, although you don't know much about it. But the spell currently affecting Taylind is called Clone.
Oh, God.
And essentially what the spell does is creates an exact copy of a person that can actually have the soul of the original transferred to, if the original vessel were to die. It is possible for both vessels to exist simultaneously, whereas the soul will reside in one of them. The clone is physically identical, has the same personality, memories, abilities.
Wow.
Essentially, the clone is the person in every way.
He is immortal.
That just
We've got at
raises
least one
further
backup.
questions.
So, oh wow.
Yeah, there's some context that needs to be added to that.
Well, and now Donaar has another moral quandary. Is that information that I want to give to what could potentially be the clone? Could Taylind not
Here we
actually
go.
be Taylind, but the clone of
Tell me something only Taylind would know.
Oh wow. Um Okay, well, when Donaar finishes his ritual cast,
Wait, is the clone active, or is it basically just a vessel waiting for Taylind to die?
So what you understand is that the vessel would remain kind of inert as long as the original creature is alive. If the original creature were to die,
Okay, so it's a
then their soul would transfer to the clone.
it's a backup body, so it's not. Both of them would be up
It's
and
not
around
much of a body.
okay,
Correct.
so it's not that the person that shoved Taylind off of the void thing in his dream is the original, and our Taylind is the clone. Taylind has a clone body somewhere else that if he should die, he would be consciously teleported to that clone. Yeah?
So
Unless he is the clone.
Right.
So the original
And
could
the
already be dead.
original, and you have no way of knowing at this point.
right,
You
it
don't
could have
know
already
if-
happened, is what you're saying.
Correct. So you don't know if he's the original Taylind and has a clone somewhere, or if he's the clone and the original dead Taylind is somewhere. You have no way of knowing at this point.
Okay.
It's
Follow-
well outside of your
Yeah.
wheelhouse, let's say, your experience.
Would my knowledge of the spell tell me if when the clone is created, does it stay at a certain age, for instance? So could Taylind have been 100 years old, died, and his consciousness or soul gone into a younger version of himself? Or does the clone age with the...
Nope. You can create the
Host.
clone as a younger version or a current version of the individual, and it stays at that age until it's occupied. It basically becomes an inert, ready vessel. So if you were created as 12 years old, it would be 12 years old, no matter how old the individual is.
There's so much going on with Taylind right now. Why would he need a soul coin if he's also got... Why is somebody going to great lengths to keep Taylind alive?
I guess they just love me.
I might regret this, but I don't think that Donaar is going to share that information immediately with Taylind.
I'm invincible.
Well, that part of
So
the reason
what-
is because of that. So I think
What are you going to tell?
Taylind, I don't think I'm going to be able to crack it today. I seem to be hitting another wall.
Well,
We might need to try this again tomorrow.
what else is new?
I'm going to require a deception check. from
Yeah,
Donaar.
Figured.
The funny thing is him lying to me is basically just reaffirming my constant insinuation that he is useless.
And Taylind, you may counter this with a insight, or if you would have a base insight? What would your
Yeah,
passive
so if
insight
my
would be?
passive insight would be 15.
Okay.
And I'm
I'm
on
not, I'm not
deception.
sure. Yeah, I'm not sure I have any real reason to like overanalyze what he's saying.
Okay. So you got to beat a 15, Donaar.
Deception.
Correct.
Come on, charisma
Because you
modifier
are
of
flat
1.
out lying to him.
Oh
right
yeah,
now,
I am.
so-
I am.
Blatantly lying.
I cannot believe that I just rolled a 1.
I can. That's the first thing you said that I believed.
Oh
So-
wow!
Taylind,
So it's a 2 for the record. It's a total of 2.
Total of 2. Well,
Taylind, you watch Donaar perform this ritual, and you know that he found something just by his body language, by the facial expression of like, oh. And a moment later, he gives you this, I'm hitting a wall, kind of whatever. And you know, without a doubt, that that's not true. He's hiding something. He found something.
Okay. I think I'm not gonna let on that I would know yet. I think I'm gonna have to take some
know that
time
he
to think
knows, but he
about
doesn't
that.
know that you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I know that he knows that I
I'm
don't
the hero
know
that you
that
know
he
that you don't
knows.
deserve, but that you need.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna let that simmer. Okay, well, I will, however, take this opportunity. Well, I gave you a shot, and once again, you've proven yourself to be a very mediocre wizard. Thanks for trying anyway.
Gonna come to the experts.
I think Donaar will just kind of nod his head. Yeah. We'll try again tomorrow.
Whatever you say.
Okay. Well, as you change course, let's take a break and we will pick it up as we proceed into uncharted waters. We'll be right back.
Aha.
Alrighty, we are back. Donaar, did you want to do your other item, or are we holding off on that?
No, I think what's going on with Taylind has kind of distracted Donaar.
Fair enough.
I imagine he will spend maybe some time sifting through Flick's spell book, if Flick will allow him, trying to see if perhaps it's in there.
I don't think there's much new since the last time we traded books, but you can have a look.
I don't think that we. Oh yeah, we leveled up since then.
I think we did it after we just leveled up at 11. So, I mean, if you want a copy of Flick's Floating Floor, you just say, and you got that.
Is that floating?
Speciality.
Is that floating disc?
Yeah, who's this tensor guy?
Yeah, I do have floating disc. I'm assuming that came from you because I did not choose that. I need to name it Flick's Floating Floor, though.
Got a little bit of green tinge to it.
Flick's floaty, what's it? All right. So while you can take care of that business, you change course and begin heading south. After a day's travel, again, fairly uneventful. Seas get a little bit rougher, murkier as you begin to head into the Sea of Souls proper. Everything here is just almost like just a little bit more dull. It's kind of a way to think of it, that it's just where'd that sound go? No. Sorry, I got distracted by trying to find my sound here. After the first day, it does begin to rain a little bit, and I'm melting. It starts to become a little bit dreary. The cannon fire has ceased.
Well, they're dead.
But during the second day, Fleck, if you want to give me a perception check from your post.
Sure. Is this going to be a sound-based one?
This will be sight.
Sight. All right. Don't need it. 23.
23. Okay. You do pick up. You can make out a single ship, 3 masts, so pretty decent size, and you're pretty sure you see a red sail.
Oh.
And the color of it reminds you of a very brief encounter you had in Porto de Arias with the Crimson Wave. There was a recruiting office there. Crimson Wave are pirate hunters. This would seem to be a pirate hunting ship. Whatever the second ship was,
Got
there's
hunted.
no sign or sight of. But the Crimson Wave ship has turned north and seems to be heading in your direction.
All right. So hang on. So this isn't the Black Goop ship where we got Mr. Sparkle. This is something else.
Yeah, these are the pirate hunters.
These are pirate hunters. Okay. So that was also something about black sails or red sails or something. Yeah.
The red water pirates. I know, red's a lot of.
Yeah.
They like red.
Oh yeah, red water versus red sails. Okay, yeah. It's all coming back to me now. Hey, Skipper, we got some. Hey, are we pirates?
No.
We don't have a black flag.
In terms of Port of Sands, are we considered pirates?
Oh,
Pirate hunters from Port of Sands
that's
are...
a good point, actually. Yeah. We're not exactly friends.
This is what I'm driving at. They're coming for us. Do we want to meet them after all?
I mean, is it worth saying that we might be able to improve our reputation by helping them?
Is this the ship in need of help?
I think this is the ship that won that little tussle.
Yeah.
And they're the
Crimson Wave.
The Crimson Wave? Sounds like
That's them.
Sounds like they maybe took down some bad guys.
Yeah, like us.
I was going to say, relatively speaking, yes.
Personally, I'm not super keen on getting into a
naval battle or
broadsides. Yeah, a naval one-sided naval onslaught. In
Yeah,
that
so
we
three
would
times our
crush
size?
them.
Mm.
Yes, well, 3 times our size ain't nothing when I can control the sea and sky with my godly powers.
Yeah, but see, not all of us are immortal, so we need to consider everyone else.
Well, that's true, yes. I suppose for the mortals of this group, we should consider carefully. Captain, I mean, have a word with you about my idea for a torque submarine. I like, basically, we get like this chamber in the hull, and we open it and we send torque through, and it's like a torpedo.
A torpedo?
I'm glad you got there.
That sounds like a lovely idea.
A torpedo.
Yes.
For another time, maybe.
Because I feel like torque versus hull of ship, and I think I know what wins that.
Probably torque, yes.
Yes.
Hang on. Let me
I'm envisioning that. That's just awesome. Water.
before we decide our next course of action, let's check in with Captain Boone and see if he's got some insight into the Crimson Wave currently. Donaar will cast Sending.
Okay.
To Captain Boone.
Okay.
Captain Donaar.
I think he knows who it's from.
Let's be polite.
We think we've seen a Crimson Wave ship. That's 10. Are they the good guys or the bad guys?
Are we the Bettys?
No, are they the Crimson Wave?
Are they the Bettys?
And what of us? Friends?
Is a question mark part of the 25 word limit?
No.
Punctuation is very important.
I feel like you have to use a lot of inflection.
Yeah, I think you get the gist across.
Yeah.
Doesn't take long for a response. Whoa. It depends on what port they call home. They might see you as friend or foe. Best to avoid.
I think with that, Boone says best to avoid, so barring any more impassioned speeches, Donaar is going to spin the wheel to get us back on our original course. Unless somebody speaks up.
I don't want to tussle.
Yeah. When the first words back are "it depends," yeah, we're out of here.
Especially out in the open water where there's no witnesses.
Yeah. From what you know of them, like they're not affiliated with any government or navy, right? They're kind of an independent, will hunt pirates. So whether they see you as pirates or not could be potentially up in the air. And again, it could depend on the captain, could depend on the crew. You do know that you do not have a good reputation in Porto Darius right now. So
well, let's just assume that they've taken
Port
out
Vargas, as it's been renamed by the ship that's taken over.
That's right. Let's just assume that they've taken down bad guys.
All right. So you want to head back on course?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that makes sense to me.
Okay. So that added a day to your journey. Takes you a day to get back on track. Give me a D100, please.
All right.
This will
Taylind,
be
it's your
for the
turn.
next few days. We'll cover a few days at a time here.
Go ahead, Devin.
All right. 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, and 4 to 54.
54. Okay. Luckily for you, the skies clear once more as you return to course.
Hey.
And you do catch a bit of a tailwind again.
Tailwind for Taylind.
Yeah. That'll be my calling card as a god. As an immortal being of vast power.
Actually, probably would have gotten to about there. So you've got in about another 2.5 to 3 days to make it to Enhold. And you can see shore. You can see, you can make out land. You can make out sort of where the city is. You can see a number of ships in the far distance. Taylind, you've had not quite as vivid dream as the first night, but that recurring dream almost every night of that same location, that same gate within the roiling.
And it's nothing unique happens. I just kind of wander around. Is that
you don't see yourself again? The coin's not there.
Well, that's going to be my next question: is how many coins does he have?
Consistent though? Like this is every night?
Every night.
Mm.
It becomes like clockwork. And every time you wake from that dream, it's morning. Sometimes you can just barely remember being there. A lot of times you remember kind of walking around, talking, doing different things. But it's every night.
I think Taylor's going to start looking pretty haggard after a while.
Mm.
Mm.
All right. Anything else would have transpired over the past 3 or 4 days?
Taylor's going to try something. After, let's say, 3 or 4 days of consistently getting the same dream, he's going to go stone cold sober for 24 hours. And then try to sleep.
Oh.
He's going to be very tired because it's going to take a very long time to get to sleep. Do we share bunks or do we each have our own room? I can't remember.
There's sort of a crew quarters. Give me a second here. I'll pull it up for you. So there is sort of inside the main area, there's the captain's quarters. And then there's like cots that can kind of be
Right.
spread around where the crew would can use. And then there's in the holds, sort of at the front of the ship here, there's where the actual like permanent cots would be. So I imagine that's probably where you guys would.
Am I in a room by
Stay.
myself or am I with someone else?
Given the amount of crew you guys have, you're probably by yourself.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. Tossing and turning and very trepidatious, very afraid. But eventually, the weariness of having to sail a ship and of the past restless nights does catch up, and Taylind does drift into a stone-cold sober slumber for the first time in probably 10 years.
So before you fall asleep that night, I do need a. What would this be for will? Wisdom. I say I'm either wisdom or constitution. I'm okay with either one, but a saving throw to resist grabbing the bottle because that is a very hard thing
fair
for
enough.
Taylind to do.
I think that is fair. Right. Wisdom save. Wow.
Okay.
I am determined with a 21.
It is hard for you to do, very, very hard. But you manage from sheer exhaustion to fall asleep without the drink. You have the same dream.
Don't know if I should be relieved or even more scared.
I'd say the rest of the crew, like you would all notice this visible haggardness of Taylind and yeah, it does seem to be kind of showing he's just.
I think after having tested that out, very early in the morning, there will be some very hectic on Donaar's door.
Come on in.
There will be a loud thud as the door will be thrown open, Aragorn style. Tell me what the hell is wrong with me.
What do you mean?
You know what's wrong with me. I just went 24 hours without taking a single drink. And I had that same dream, the same dream I've had every single night since you told me I was splintered. Now, I don't know whether to thank you or to sock you in the face. Mutiny.
Mutiny?
Insubordination.
Well, Taylind, I'm not really sure what to tell you. Because what I have discovered is not exactly something that I understand myself. I've been spending these last couple of days trying to think back to any time where what I've discovered about you could have happened. where we've been separated or where there's been an opportunity for somebody to inflict you with something. I can't think of a time where you have been on your own long enough for something like this to happen.
Something like what? Just spit it out.
Well, let's start with this. Have you noticed any marks on your body? Any wounds that have healed?
Would I have? I feel like if they were obvious, I probably would have.
If it needs a pound of flesh, it should.
Well, if it's on my back, I'm not going to notice now, am I?
And if they took the pound of flesh and then healed you up right away, I'd like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You could take a pound of flesh from my buttocks and I would
You
not
don't
know.
you don't remember having any like chunks missing from you?
Not that I can recall, no more than the ones I get stumbling into bed every night to avoid
You're not
the
entirely
night
familiar
terrors.
with your own backside and back.
Yeah. I'm not
Well,
aware
most
of
people
anything.
aren't, but
Do me a favor, Taylind, take your shirt off. Let me see your back.
Why?
Test a theory.
And then you're going to tell me what's going on.
Yes.
Fine. I will remove the shirt.
Donaar, give me a medicine check.
Jeez.
Where's Torque when we need him?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to pull Torque into it, you can, but
Well, right now, Donaar is being cautious about who he's sharing this information with because as his own mind has been racing, he doesn't want to cause a lot of distress amongst the crew. He's concerned that people will think that Taylind is not really Taylind.
okay.
I rolled a 10 plus 1 for 11.
Okay. Upon immediate, like, visually seeing, his back and all that stuff, nothing's obvious. There might be some faint, like, scars here and there. Could be from any number of things, though. Most of them look pretty long healed. Nothing like glaringly obvious, like we took a chunk from here.
Mm.
If there's anything covered up, you would not really know.
Yeah.
Have any ability to determine that.
There's a changing curtain over there. Go behind there and check the lower half of you, please. You're looking for an area that looks cut up, disturbed, healed, missing.
Yeah.
Are you missing anything down there?
When I do normally cut myself or get a scrape, I sing a merry little tune to myself. And you know what happens? It goes away.
I'm not talking about a scrape or a minor wound.
Surely, if there was some injury upon my person I was not aware of previously, whatever caused it would have been healed in the same fashion during our various exploits.
Maybe.
That is the thing about magical healing.
Does magical healing leave scars? I don't even know.
I don't
It doesn't
believe
remove,
it does.
It doesn't remove scars.
Do you imagine?
It doesn't leave scars, but it doesn't remove scars either.
No,
Just
if
permanent
yes.
injuries or scars that have healed by other means or whatever. Healing magic will
Well,
not
the spell
remove that.
heal usually removes scars.
Heal would,
that's,
yes,
that's
but
some high level.
Yeah, not
shenanigan.
cure wounds or anything like that would not take away any of that.
Would you Just humor me this last time. And then I will tell you what I found, although
Well, gee, you should have bought me a drink first.
that's why I'm telling you to go behind the change curtain.
All right, all right. Very well. I will do so.
Give me a medicine check with advantage. It's yourself.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. I feel like I know myself pretty well. That's a nat 20 for a 25.
There you go.
I know.
Yep.
I know myself real good.
Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing that you don't recognize. You haven't seen.
I appeared to be in
Wow.
immaculate shape.
A couple dry spots here and there, maybe, but you know.
Hey, look. It's the salt in the air, you know.
Yeah.
You're briny.
I'm a little briny.
Yeah. All right, look, I don't really know how, why, where, when,
Who?
Those are all things.
who. Yeah. But that second day when I cast Identify on you, it revealed that you are, in fact, inflicted with a necromantic spell. It is not something that I can cast yet. It is beyond my capabilities, beyond my ability yet. It is a spell that, for lack of a better term, is clone.
Okay.
What that means is what I've been trying to figure out these last couple of days. The thing is that in order to use this spell, it requires a serious sacrifice from the host. Chunk of flesh, if you will.
Okay.
So that's why I was checking if there was anything perhaps missing or healed over on you. I don't know if this is recent or if this is something that happened before I even met you. I don't know if you did it to yourself or if somebody's done it to you. But there lies the possibility that somewhere in this realm or the next, there is another version of your body. At some stage of your life, waiting for you to die so that it can take over your soul consciousness. Your consciousness and soul will be transferred to this other clone. The other option is that you are the clone. The only reason that I don't think that that is the case is because you would have memory of that. And while
Surely
you are
anyone powerful enough in magic to create a clone could modify a memory.
true,
It's only a third level spell.
Again, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
while true, we're not talking about modifying the last couple hours. We're talking about modifying every part of who you are to a certain point, so that you wouldn't remember.
Yeah. It's like full on amnesia.
None of this started happening until after you told me that I was splintered. Is that when this would
True.
have happened? Or would it have been before that? Because if it could have been a while back, I can think of several people who may want to take over this fine physique.
Well, but that's the thing, is that this is not something where they would be taking you over. This is something that you cast on something you're trying to spare.
Oh, I wish Flick was in there. I got theories.
In terms
And
of
this
when,
was something you didn't think that was important to let me know.
I am trying to understand when this could have happened.
Mhm.
As you said, this all started after we told you that you were splintered, but
So I come and ask you
You-
for help, and you decide that this will be your next little project.
what if I was wrong? What if I misunderstood what I was reading? We've already thrown a huge curveball at you, telling you that you are more chaotically broken than the rest of us. You start
Is it
experiencing these weird
possible
dreams.
then that one of these has led to the other? The reason I am so splintered is because of this cloning.
That is entirely possible. Because I can't think of a time in the last month where you have been in a vulnerable situation where somebody could have done this to you. So this predates. Really?
You'll recall we did take a rest in a supposedly safe place with a very old family member of mine, surrounded by arcane implements.
True.
Not to say that that is what's happened, but there have definitely been points. Who also knows what my aunt might be up to in that fortress that I have?
She does have that weird room in the basement of her catacomb.
There's also been
Portals
several
in it.
creatures that have taken a chunk out of me in combat, and perhaps. All I'm saying is, we have more questions than answers, and I would appreciate it if I could be made aware of these answers.
Right?
Even if it's a working theory, it's still better to know than to be wondering what's going on.
I suppose you're right.
So what now?
I don't know. We could try to figure out where this happened, when this happened.
Sure.
If we can sort those things out, we can maybe get to the why.
But this is what made us even think to look in the first place.
It's true.
I have been dreaming of this place every single night. No matter how much I imbibe, no matter how sloshed I am. Ordinarily, that does the trick. I am haunted by night terrors every waking and restful evening of my life. The one time I get to have peace is with a bottle and a pillow. And I can't even have that anymore.
I don't have anything that can help you with that. We probably need somebody more in the holy side of things to give you that kind of rest.
Terrific.
Cleric or a paladin.
Well, at least I'm not drowning every night anymore.
Are you drowning?
I told you. I need to drink to fall asleep. If you want me to be ready in the morning for anything that might come our way. Speaking of which, I'm going to go and try to find ways to not have to sleep all the time. Perhaps coffee.
Kofefe.
A bit of midnight oil. Captain.
All right. For the next leg, the last leg of the journey, is there anything else that we'd like to see to? Conversations, spells, downtime.
I think Taylor's going to spend a lot more time with Flick in the last few days.
Finally getting some sensible advice then. Good.
Does that book of yours have anything about dream magic?
I can always have a look. Give me a couple days. I'll page through this thing. There's a lot of stuff in here. But dreams never really took my attention too much until you
Yeah.
I barely remember 'em most of the time. So coming from where I come from, dreams, both like the actual things and the metaphorical things, not something that not healthy when you're in that environment to have dreams and hopes. Right? Got to be a little more pragmatic.
Suppose that's true. Who needs dreams when you've got booze?
Or, a 6-foot orc with a whip,
Or a magistrate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'd appreciate it if you could take a look.
I will do my best, friend. Don't you worry.
Maybe when we finally get to Enhold, we can see if they've got any magic stores. Even just a potion or something.
Well, yeah, I know Enhold's like short one magician for sure, but I'm sure they've got others. Sort of
What?
elbow the book a little bit. do, do, do.
Well, hey, this has definitely been a combination of the most harrowing yet calmest voyage we've ever had on the Sea of Souls.
Yeah, it's been a little, almost that finding our own problems because it's too quiet kind of situation going on.
Yeah, the calm before the storm.
Mm.
Keep, if you don't mind, if you want to figure out more what's going on with this whole coin business, and just make sure that I'm being informed of anything gets broken on that case.
Absolutely. I'm your man on the inside, don't you worry.
I figured I could count on you. Listen, as it happens, I don't need to be wasting all of my huge assortment of quality beverages each evening as I used to. So I've found myself with a few extras. You can, of course, help yourself until the near future when hopefully we resolve this problem.
Much obliged, good sir.
Just don't drink it directly from the bottle, please. I have to just burn it after that.
What if I bite the end off?
No.
That's good and crunchy.
Yeah. Only if you're finishing it off.
Ah,
Some of those are like 2-liter bottles of like 80 proof. You shouldn't be downing the whole thing anyway. So just a little bit, and
I'll be
you'll be on
rolling
your way.
death saves on that.
And you're unconscious with 3 failed death saves. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, buddy. Hopefully,
Yeah,
Enhold will treat us better than some of the other places we've been.
Hey, Taylind.
Yeah.
My redeemable.
Well, I mean, there are definitely monsters in this world that wear the faces of men. Wouldn't count you among them. Sometimes we have to do certain things for survival. And to not do them would have meant death. So doesn't really seem fair to judge someone for that, does it?
Yeah. Because, I'm thinking going back to Enhold. I don't even know if they know who done it, but I did some stuff there. Not happy about it, not necessarily proud of it, but it happened. I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about this contract killing gig that we've got. Think that guy's redeemable? Are we the ones to judge?
That's a fair point. A ship hasn't sailed just yet. If anything, we might be able to get information from this guy.
I'd be more than happy to turn this guy.
I'll tell you what. You can take your shot. Give it a shot. Give it a try. See what happens.
I'm charming. He'll see the light. Hey, thanks, buddy.
But at the end of the day, we are dealing with gods and demons.
Yeah, way above my pay grade. Jeez.
You know, it's weird, isn't it? I understand why Torque's involved in all this. Donaar seems to have some tie to the ancient dragons. You and me, though, it kind of just seems like we're along for the ride.
It's been a good ride so far. Good company most of the time.
Well, hey, we get a front row seat to the end of the world. Who could ask for something better these times?
I will burn the popcorn.
All right. Good talk.
All right.
How many days is it left to Enhold?
Between 2 and 3.
Cool. I'm
Depending
going to
on
not sleep.
wind and stuff.
You're gonna not sleep.
Okay.
Oh, I will sleep when we reach shore and pray we get there soon.
Interesting.
Haven't slept, heave ho, I say, in many suns and moons.
So that's definitely going to incur exhaustion.
It certainly will.
Interesting. So you're going to get at least one level of exhaustion.
Fair enough.
I'd say for the...
If I don't long rest at Enhold, I get a second one.
Well, no, at least one, and I'm going to get you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Very good. 14.
14. You will have exhaustion 2.
Very good.
But we get to Enhold. So your speed is halved, and you have disadvantage on all ability checks.
That's manageable. It's the third one that that's the real bad one.
Well, I mean, death is pretty bad, but
I mean, sure, but once you hit 3, you may as well be dead. I mean, you're at that point you're dead weight.
no.
But no, I am just not going to sleep.
Okay.
Trust me, I know how hard that is. I'm pretty sure Taylind is hallucinating.
Oh, probably. But I mean, would anybody know the difference?
No. I did a 24-hour stream once, and I was seeing things, man. It was,
Oh, yeah,
it was
those are-
not okay.
Donaar, anything over the next couple days?
I think maybe as part of the growing concern about this whole clone thing, Donaar will be a nightly ritual of his will be to cast alarm and put up an alarm around his quarters. Make sure there is nothing coming in when he's unaware.
Oh, because you're the ones under threat. Yeah, okay.
Well, apparently you're not sleeping. Originally, I was going to do it to your
That's
room,
fair.
but
Yeah,
you're not
that's fair.
sleeping, so there's no room to do it to. And then I think Donaar will cast Sending to Kamari. No. Jorund.
Jorund, okay.
I think maybe on the first of the last
Boy,
2
he hasn't
days.
talked to us in like a month and a half or something.
I know. I think the first message that Donaar will send to him will be more catching up and checking in on how his recovery is doing. So, I guess we'll go. Well, Donaar is always going to do this. Jorund, it's Donaar. Wanted to see how you're doing. How's the tower? Are you back to 100% yet?
Hey, Donaar. Good to hear you. Pretty good. I have more strawberry juice. Recovered that recipe. Feeling chipper. There's a sending back right after that
Oh,
Ooh.
to you. How are things on your end? It's been a while since I've heard from you. I hope you're all well. Punched a god yet?
do I have the same restrictions on the return?
Yep.
25.
25, yeah.
We're doing well. Punched a god. No. But kinda.
Oh boy.
We've come a long way since we last saw you. I could use your help. I have one word left, but I don't know what to do with it, so...
Man,
Kisses.
Yeah.
buddy. Use your help, buddy. Use your help, guy.
I guess since I sent him, he sent me. I just responded, I will cast sending again.
Okay.
I've got a lot of spells that I can use for this, so I'll spend a couple.
Wait, yeah. Do all of this in one day, and then the giant beast will attack us. I don't have any of my spells. I had a conversation.
I had a very expensive.
It took us 3 spell slots before we really got to the meat. We just did small talk for like 4 spell slots.
It's basically a bad collect call.
Look at that Kraken. That's a big boy.
So I will cast sending to Jorund again. We seem to have been afflicted by the chaos. No. Yeah. We're okay. But what can you tell me about the clone spell? 3 words.
I love you.
No, oh, screw it. Donaar has no filter.
Oh, screw it. There you go.
Screw it.
That was Mike talking. Taylind's been hit.
Oh, that's oh boy.
Too much information, I know, but
I don't like that guy.
I know.
Very powerful magic. Curious. Is he him or the cloud? May I scry on you?
I'll burn another sending spell. What did he ask? Oh yeah, is he the clone or is it him? May I scry on you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will cast sending a 3rd time. That's a good question. One I'm trying to determine. But I think it's him. Yes. Go ahead and scry. Donaar's not super familiar. Can we talk through scrying? I'll finish it there.
Talk through scrying, no. But if I know where you are, there is a way. Give me a moment.
I'm assuming since you're essentially a willing creature.
I think it just works.
Yeah, I don't think you need to make a check. I would say that you're actually aware of the scry though, since you've kind of given permission, you know it's coming. And so there is a sense that you're being watched for a moment. Are you doing this in your cabin?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Assuming? Okay. So a moment later, there's a bit of a sort of a shimmer, kind of like a portal, essentially opening, and you see almost like a, for our reference, like holographic image of Jorand as he kind of steps into the cabin.
Well, this is a cozy place you have here, Donaar. Traveling via these means onto a moving ship is not always easy, but then again, I'm very old and I've done a lot of magical things, a lot of experiments, so I've had my share of practice. And, this is a fun one for when you get more experienced. I encourage you to research astral projection. Many things you can do. Very, very, very exciting. You can go places when leaving your body at home safe. Well, safe relatively. If you die when you're out, well, just... Sorry, anyway, I'm rambling a little bit. So Taylind has been hit by a clone spell, you say? You're not sure whether he is the clone or whether he's the original. There are ways to tell.
Well, we opted for a physical inspection initially. But yes, we're not exactly sure. My guess is that he is the original and that there's a clone out there. There's kind of a long backstory here. We ran into old family members of his. We realized that he basically belongs to a wealthy dynasty up here in the north. A lot of people that would be...
The Vale family, correct, yes.
It makes sense that you would know that, yes. Yeah. A lot of shady people in his past, a lot of questionable people in his past, in his family. There's not outside the realm of understanding why they might want to preserve him, but we're just not sure when, how, where. Ooh.
Well, the clone, the process, you see, it takes quite a bit of time. I believe it's 100 days or more. It's not something that can simply be done overnight. It's quite an involved process. The clone needs to be grown, you see. It needs to be placed in a secure location, and once it matures, then it can be used, but not until then. And once it does mature, it pretty much just stays in it forever until needed, but it still does take time, and it must be secured. If anything were to happen to that clone, then essentially this spell would not work. But so this is something that would have happened, well, not recent history, so it could, at least 100 or so days ago or more be before that. Curious, very curious.
Craig, how long have we been a crew? How long since
Not
we left?
120 days.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Well, maybe. What is that in months? That's like...
That's
4 months?
4 months.
5 months? Okay, so yeah, you have been then.
Oh.
Yeah, you've been...
So potential that it's happened along our trip, but also maybe before.
Yes.
I could look into this if you'd like.
That would be helpful. We're looking for answers right now and trying to make sense of what this means for Taylind.
You're sure it is the clone spell? You're sure it's not some sort of simulacrum?
No, I'm not sure. This is way beyond my ability.
Curious, because you know, well, you met Runix. An old associate of mine turned enemy, turned foe, turned scoundrel, fractured, like myself, like you. He can create versions of himself essentially. Somewhat similar, but not sure if it's identical. I myself am tied to a single location, but can project myself more or less. As you saw my apparatus that I was contained within due to my unfortunate accident, but there are many ways to produce a version of yourself to send out into the world while your host sort of remains inert in one place. Let me see what I can find out. I need a good project. These dwarves have me doing a few different things, projects here and there for them, which is entertaining, but this one, I will let you know if I find out anything.
That would be good.
Good. Excellent.
Maybe you can answer a question for us as well, because there's a lot of things that have happened since we saw you last. Let's just say that we've learned that Taylind, while fractured like us, is perhaps different. We consider him splintered. Patent pending on that name.
Splintered.
The other day he had a dream, and in that dream he picked up a coin. And when he came out of that dream, he had that coin.
Oh. Well, that seems like some sort of manifestation type of thing, of being able to create something from nothing. Sort of powerful transmutation, I would think. Perhaps it is part of his fracture, his ability that he has. They manifest in many different ways.
Yeah, we don't really know exactly what Taylind's fracture ability is. Flick, Torque, and me, it's all very apparent. With Taylind, it's kind of... we don't know.
Yes. Well, perhaps you'll find out in time. One thing that I can tell you about being fractured is that it's a journey. It evolves and changes. It's unpredictable. I mean, with the very nature of chaos, you can't predict what's going to happen. It makes no sense sometimes. Perhaps, sorry, I just got really thirsty, even in natural form. Do some juice. You don't happen to have any strawberry juice here, do you?
We have been at sea many days. No.
Pity.
We got water.
Nobody appreciates
and we
good
got
strawberry
booze.
juice. No, it lacks the right flavor. Must be strawberry.
One of these days you're going to tell me why it has to be strawberry. But not today.
I don't need to tell you anything.
That's fair.
All right. I will, I'll ponder on this maybe, see what I can find out. I'll let you know. What was I doing again? There he is, sir. Mind wandering a little bit. Even my body wanders. My body's wandering one place, and then my mind wanders away from the body, and then but my body is still there where it is, and it's all quite entertaining, I think. Yes. I will go now. Rambling old man. Yeah. Anyway,
He's just like in mid sentence, just going. You see a faint silver thread, kind of just like fizzle out from as he disappears and kind of fade.
He is an interesting fellow. Well, in light of Taylind wanting to know everything, Donaar will go and find Taylind.
I know, right? What a Selfish request.
No, sorry. I just have a feeling that I know how Taylon's going to respond to the fact that Donaar just told Jorand things.
Not well.
Taylind, just wanted to let you know
Yes.
we have a mage on the case. One much more powerful than I.
Flick?
Nope, even more powerful than Flick.
Impossible.
I reached out to Jorand. Reached out to
Sure.
Jorand to check in with him, see how he's doing. I figured he might have some insight into this.
Hang out with him often?
No, this is the first time in a while since I've spoken with him. But he is a very old and very powerful wizard. I figured if anybody could give us insight into what is happening to you, maybe it's him.
Uh-huh.
So he's going to do some research. He's going to get back to us.
Right. So at what point do I get to have any kind of consulting on this thing that's afflicting me that we're now just telling everybody?
Now?
Yeah. If I wasn't so utterly exhausted. Oh, I'm tired thinking about it. If you can give some answers, great. But maybe next time I can be there for it and be part of this discussion.
Do you remember what happened the last time that you were involved in a discussion with Jorand?
Vividly.
It was awesome.
Precisely why I'm not sure how I feel about him rooting around in my business.
You know any
I
other
don't
powerful
like
mages?
archmages.
Do you know any other mages that can help us with this problem?
Not that would be at least reasonable to communicate with. At least he is, as far as we know, still roughly working on our side, but I mean, for all we know, he's already turned.
I don't think we have to be concerned about him turning towards Triskades.
Maybe, maybe not. You never know. You didn't tell him about the dragon, did you?
No,
That's good at least.
I wanted to, but I didn't.
Well, I'm glad that your boundaries of tattling are at least solid when someone has made it clear what you should not talk about. I'm too tired to be mad right now. Are we almost there?
Day and a half.
When we get there, can you find some kind of magic that will make the dreams go away?
Sure, I'll try.
Cool.
See what I can find.
I'm gonna go keel haul myself to stay awake. Sleep with one eye open, Donaar.
I have magic for that.
Sleep with one eye open. Grip your pillow tight.
Yep.
Exit light. Enter night.
Enter night.
Well, we'll let Mr. Hatfield serenade us off. And as Sandman enters, we will exit this session as you prepare to arrive in Enhold. And that is where we will pick it up next time. Thank you, everyone, for joining, for hopefully being entertained by our storytelling and our gaming. And until next time, happy gaming, and we will see you later. Don't forget to follow us, check out our link tree, and do all the things with the like and the such as, and so forth. Goodbye, everybody.